So right now I am here in Morgan Crossing, and we talk about this place all the time on our YouTube channel. If you have considered moving to the Grandview neighborhood, you definitely need to know about this area. Simply because you're going to spend all of your time here. This is where all of your shopping is. This is where your groceries are. This is where you're going to come get coffee. This is where you're going to come hang out. You might even bring your dog here to run in the little dog park. So we're going to do a tour in today's video of the Morgan Crossing area. Now, this is a big area, and there's actually other areas very near here called Grandview. We've done two separate videos on this called Grandview North and Grandview South. So if you want to check those out as well, by all means, check them out. They're on the channel, but we're going to do a little bit of a walking tour here. I'm going to let you know about some of my favorite spots where you should consider checking out. And you're definitely going to want to watch this if you consider relocating to the Grandview neighborhood, because again, you're going to spend a ton of time here. So if that sounds good, let's go check it out right now.
You only get one chance to buy or sell your next home. Let's get it right.
So it's kind of weird to think about that this area once was just like all forest. There was literally nothing here. We used to have friends that lived in the area, and it was one road in, one road out. It was all trees, and you just had literally nothing around. So you're going to see what it looks like right now because it's pretty impressive because of what's been built up here. Let's flip the camera around, check it out. Okay, there you go. One of the really neat things about this neighborhood is these condominiums. So if you kind of check out what's going on up there, this whole area is built just with all these condominiums up top. Now, there's townhouses absolutely everywhere surrounding this neighborhood, but one of the ideas when they built this was really that you didn't need your car. You didn't need to hop in the car to get all your services and run to everywhere you want to go. And it's just built this really vibrant, kinda neat area. In fact, lots of people love to live in this neighborhood simply because exactly what I said, they don't really have to jump in their car, they don't have to run to all these places to get stuff, so it's ultra convenient, and we tend to find that the empty nesters are the ones that really appreciate living in this neighborhood, or maybe those just starting out looking for their first home, and I guess let's take a look at what's actually here and why they choose to do that. Okay, so this is actually a new store. This just went in there, and it's one of those, I want to say Japanese. I believe it's Japanese, but I can't say that I've actually checked it out. Make sure I don't miss anything behind me. So you got to have multiple banks in every single neighborhood that's new, right? You never would want to miss the opportunity to go banking. All right. You gotta excuse me. I mean, I'm a guy. So when it comes to some of these women's stores, I'm maybe not the best judge of character about how awesome they might be and all the great stuff they got going in there because I don't go into them that often, or if at all. So let's start on this side over here. We've got the running room. That is one of the best stores you're gonna find in the entire South Surrey and White Rock area, just for anybody that's honestly into running. That's Oh, it's people are waiting for me across the road here. All right. This is a great place to come over here. We got the shoe company and all sorts of different stuff in here. And all the different types of stuff we could ever want and ever need. That's how big it is. Now, this is a Winners coming up on the left. Right here. Well, let's not miss anything on the other side of the street here. So you got Euro Tailors over there, and you've got Howard as well. So Howard is like a high-end men's clothing store. Definitely worth a peek if you haven't been in there and you're into that sort of stuff. You want some of the brands that are and they're harder to find. Hacky Nine Jewelry, I think that might be new as well. Haven't had the opportunity to be there. Lash and Beauty Bar and Morgan Heights Cleaners. So it was a daycare there. Actually, I won't film that because I don't think we want to film kids in a daycare. I don't know. It's not that type of channel. There's Winners. So it's a really good one actually too. It makes quite big. You can see all the parking here, and I'm gonna run you over to the dog park now. Why run you over to the dog park? Well, if you're gonna move to this area, you'd want to know where you're taking your dog. And when I say dog park, it's maybe being used a little bit loosely because it's maybe less of a park and more of a kind of enclosed chain link patch of grass or a patch of area. But nonetheless, this is where you're going to bring your dog if you live in this neighborhood for a little bit of a pee. If you live in some of these townhouses around here, and again, there's many, you're probably going to go somewhere else, but that's okay. And this is what it looks like. So perfect for the people in the condos here because, maybe they don't have animals that are quite so big and they don't need all that space. So it's it's not huge. Does the job. Let's continue on here. So some of these buildings, and if you've seen any of our kind of drone shots from this neighborhood, and it's a little bit hard to see, but there's huge patios on the second levels of some of this. So you can see the just monstrous patios and really, really great if you get onto one of the second floors of some of these places. But there's also some townhomes at the bottom of these buildings, kind of like over on this side here. And definitely kind of a neat experience because again, you're so close to all this stuff. So if you ever choose to come check it out, it's certainly worth it. Okay, we'll do a fast forward montage now. Okay, we made it. So Morgan Crossing Dental. There. And Well Health Medical Centers. There's palm trees out here. That's nice. Okay. You see how big this place is, and there's buildings actually like here. It's kind of more of the stuff over here that I tend to frequent, but we'll get over there. Dermapure aesthetic medicine. I guess that's Botox and skin rejuvenation and all that sort of stuff. Golf Town. Most people know about Golf Town. This is a great one. It's a huge building. You can go in there and try out drivers and putters, and they've got clothes and all that sort of stuff. It's huge. It's awesome. You see lots of people in this neighborhood with their dogs walking around, making sure they're getting some exercise in. So one of the places I'm going to show you next year is pretty awesome, especially if you have kids. It's a really good spot for birthday parties and all that sort of stuff for the younger kids. But it's called Morgan's. I thought it was Morgan Crossing Place Center. Actually, maybe I'm trying the camera there. He's got kids again, but it's one of those kind of indoor areas. The ones that have all the like slides and kind of bouncy things and the the things to navigate through. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say, right? So now I'm just kind of coming in this little Corso here. And this used to be Steve Nash years ago. It's a fitness world. This is probably the best gym in all of South Surrey and White Rock, just in terms of size. So what's really great, I don't know how big it necessarily is, but they've got like yoga studios and really nice showers and spin areas. And it's just really great. One of the best gyms in the entire area. Pediatric therapy. And this is Morgan Crossing Sports Medicine. So one of the places where I go and my physio is there. Shout out to Stephanie. She's awesome. If you ever need physio, she is the one to go see and tell. All right, let's keep going here. So you got your Starbucks there. You got two entrances here actually for the condo. So there's one there and one there. And there is Starbucks. So it's a nice one. Usually pretty busy in here, but they move quick. And who doesn't not love going to Starbucks? We'll show you some of these other areas here. And maybe we'll start working our way across the street. So I'm going to pull out here, but got London Drubs right there. Everyone's familiar with London Drubs if you're a British Columbia person. But now, just behind here is a Home Depot. There's some other stores and whatnot that I'm not going to necessarily run over to. It's a Mark's warehouse, and there's a Moore's over there and that sort of stuff. But I want to show you some of this. So we'll do another kind of fast forward montage here to get you across the street. Let's move. Okay, so we're across the street here, and I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, more banks, right? You've got a Fan City on the corner. You got another Royal Bank here. How many banks do people need? Well, if you can see in the window, just packed there for whatever reason. So, anyways, good for them. So now we're kind of in the area where I and my family tend to frequent the most. So I know a little bit more about these stores. So let me show you some of these and some of our favorite places to eat and shop. Noodle box. It is good. It's kind of like fast food, and you can get all these different type of noodle places, hence the name Noodle Box. But it's super, super tasty, and it's relatively quick as well. So when you've got kids with you, that is the way to go. And give you a little view of across the road here, and you can see some of those patios across the street that I was telling you about. Huge balconies, right? All right, Supplement King. So if you're into exercising, that's where you want to go. You can go pick up your supplements, and then run across the street to the gym. This place just opened. For those of you that watch this channel, I am not a meat eater, so I can't tell you that I have had the experience of trying it, but JoJo's Chicken Shack. So relatively new, just came into some. I mean, who does not like French fries? Cajun French fries? I'm gonna have to try those one day. Now, let's talk about some stuff I have tried. Sushi Castle. Love this place. Small little place, good service, quick food, awesome, awesome food. You'll always enjoy it. Now, my family and I, we absolutely frequent this area all the time, and I've sold a bunch of these condominiums in this neighborhood. In fact, last one was right there, second floor, beautiful one. But anyways, I want you to look behind me here, because what I'm showing you behind me is a really neat kind of social area. They're trying to make this area just more a little lively, a little more social, that sort of thing. So they put in some really cool features. Let me show you them. Features like this. Now it's winter time as I am filming this. So this is a fountain. It's typically on in the summer. You got this playground here, and for as simple as this playground looks, it is usually smoking busy. So why is it smoking busy? Well, because you've got a Menchie's right beside it. So people know that playgrounds and Menchie's go very, very well together. See the size of that patio right there. Look at the width of it and how far it is from the building, right? So they do a really nice job at taking care of this area as well. Looks like the workers are out today just kind of taking care of it, making it nicer. So we're just walking past the Menchie's now. If you're not familiar with Menchie's, it's the best. It's so good. All right, show you what else we got here. So Pokerito, this is a neat looking place. So they do all these kind of like fancy wraps and whatnot. Uh, and it's kind of like a take on old sushi in a way, but you were check them out. They got their happy hour. They're 15% off the bowls. Cooperators Insurance and Chipotle. It always smells good when you're walking by. So this isn't a big one, but if you want something that you're familiar with and you want to pop in there, I won't take you for a tour of there. Chop Leaf, one of my favorite spots. Come here all the time for lunch. Look at this video. You look for something healthy that's really good, you always want to check this place out. And Morgan Crossing Barbershop. I always bring my son here, and they're super nice. It's pretty cool in there. Now you got Thrifty Foods. If you're unfamiliar with Thrifty Foods, Thrifty Foods is probably the nicer or the nicest chain of grocery stores in the area. So we've got Superstore, we've got Walmart. A level above that might be a place like Save On Foods. They're kind of in the middle. And this is usually really in terms of prices, but also sometimes quality. And then you tend to get into like kind of the more expensive places, like maybe Thrifty Foods or Safeway. But the really great thing about maybe the more expensive places is you tend to have less people in them. They've got more specialty products, a lot of the pre-made stuff that's really, really good. And the produce and the fruit and whatnot is excellent. It's really, really nice. So if that's, depending on what you're looking for, there's something for everybody. But this is one of the nicer ones in the area. This has been here for quite some time, but it's beautiful inside. It's not super busy, and they've got really great selection. So there you go. Yeah, we'll see getting the sorry, yeah. Okay, so let's run over here. You got a booster juice there. That's actually pretty new. And then look at all this. This is all like almost like another little community here. Got all the shops up top, and then you've got all these stores on the bottom. So Let's run this way. We'll show you what else is here. So we're on the other side of some of that other stuff. So the Chipotle goes all the way through. There's a sage. If you like diffusers and really nice like creams and uh, beauty type products and whatnot, sage is really, really nice. It makes for a great gift as well. There's a little bit on the inside of the Chipotle. This place I love and it smells so good, Mr. Greekstone Air. It is, if you like kebabs and whatnot, it is the place to go. It smells so good just walking by your house. God believe it. This is unfortunate. This was a super awesome spot. Shout out to the owners and Bella's Miracle Shop. Fortunately, they just went out of business relatively recently, but had really cool like kind of knickknacks and stuff like that. And unfortunately, they just didn't bake it. The shop is with some of those smaller shops, unfortunately. Now, Neat Chocolates, a chocolate cafe. I would suggest that it is better called just a cafe that has some of the best coffee that you're probably gonna ever taste. And one of the nice things about it is they give you these little chocolates with though, when you get them. But it's really nice in there. They do a very, very nice cup of coffee. So if you want some of those kind of, fancier presses and whatnot, that is certainly a place to go. So we're back here. That's the playground that we were just at. So if you're kind of trying to keep your GPS going there, this is an outdoor mall. So you see like there's bathrooms and stuff spread throughout. That's the front door for that building there. The front door for this building is just kind of under here. You've got this Menzu ramen and bubble tea over here. And let's maybe run, show you this wooden tassel on the end. Really nice furniture. And they typically have pretty good sales over there too. If you find yourself in need of some furniture, show you a little bit of that restaurant there. But if you find yourself in need of some furniture, you want to check this place out. I believe everything comes from Canada, or most of their stuff comes from Canada, and I know that they are Canadian companies. So there's an animal hospital in here, and there's a building in the background there if you didn't see it. So let's cross the street at this point, and we'll kind of wrap up the tour with what else is out there. Just so you know, there's a furniture barn across the road there, and a Sammy J. Peppers or Sammy J. Peppers is the old name. Sammy J is across the way there. So good appies and nice environment, nice place to go. Okay, PetSmart, huge PetSmart, one of the bigger ones in the area. So you can get everything you need for your animals there. They got fish and reptiles and cats and dogs and all that sort of stuff. Everything you could ever want. Really, really big. Here, we'll show you what it looks like across the road here. And this is when we're getting into more of the retail type stuff. The retail side is kind of more where we are now. Most of the restaurants are kind of back there with the ones I showed you. I don't want to miss this place. Yihi Yoga. Really, really cool inside and beautiful inside. So if you're into yoga, come check these things out. But anyways, this is where you come when you got some dough and you want to go buy some new clothes and whatnot. So there's a lot of like thrift style store. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong side of the camera. There's a lot of like thrift style stores and whatnot in this area, or sorry, not thrift, like outlet rather, but nice stuff. So you've got like Roots, and you've got Calvin Klein, you've got Banana Republic, stuff like that. So let me show you. Okay, so this is across the road there. That's where we just were. Let's start. So you got a Lydian Rose outlet. That's kind of like women's clothing, pajamas and underwear and whatnot. It's a pretty big business staple. You do see them absolutely everywhere. Here's your Roots. Looks like they might even be closed. Looks a little dark in there, but staple. Oh no, they're not closed. It's huge though. Huge inside. We're coming up on one of the coolest stores in this whole area, and it's called Everything Wine. So this is like a wine. I don't know if you call them an importer. They probably got about every bottle of wine you could ever imagine. Look how big it is. Like it goes all the way to this back area here. They've got great selection. Stuff you've never had, surely. And you can also get some pretty good deals on wine sometimes too, especially around the holidays, which is when this is being filmed right now. But see just how huge it is. So let me show you across the street here. This is cool, this kind of living wall. And there's a few stores over there. Muse is like a fashion store. Sort of thing. Okay, let's keep going. So if you got kids, you need to know where the local Carter's is. the Oshkosh Bagosh, or I think that's what it's called. So here's the kids store coming up here. We just finished Black Friday, so there's tons there, tons of sales going on everywhere, but it's a big store. Lots of stuff always in there. And I gotta be honest, this Scola store across the road, not quite sure what it is. Bailey Nelson does like glasses and whatnot. Here's the Banana Republic factory outlet store. It's always good for some work clothes or some nice clothes going out with friends, that sort of stuff. Right beside it, you've got the Gap factory store. I was telling you guys that Calvin Klein was in here. Actually, Calvin Klein hasn't been in here for years now. It's been going for quite some time. So you got the Gap factory store. Really good deals going on there. Typically, it's huge. Nice place to come hang out for the day, right? We'll show you across the road again real quick. So Nest Essentials, it's kind of like bedding and custom wood furniture, mattresses, that sort of thing. You got Pure Nail Bar and Blow, which is like a ladies hairstyle area business. Levi's, good store, especially when you need some jeans, of course. My wife's favorite store, and I'm not gonna lie, mine as well, Lululemon. You all know Lululemon. You've been in there. You love it. You know you want it. It's so comfortable. It's the best. And now we've got Natalia Jewelers here. So here, let's take a look at some of this. This is what we got. Nice. All right. So there you go. That is your tour of the Morgan Crossing shopping area. Again, you're going to spend a lot of time in here. Now, if you haven't seen our videos on the Grandview North or Grandview South or anything we've done kind of in the area, just generally in the Grandview neighborhood, this is where a lot of the young families end up. This is where a lot of the affordable homes are, because there's so many townhomes in this area. There's lots of condos, specifically right here, as I said, and there's lots of detached homes too that the price points start getting up a little bit more for that. But anyways, now you've got your tour. You know if this is a place that you want to come hang out. I certainly recommend checking it out, especially if you're new to South Surrey or White Rock. Guys, this channel is all about everything to do with South Surrey and White Rock, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We also talk a lot about real estate stuff. And if you're curious about some of those Grandview North, Grandview South videos that I talked about earlier, well, good news is one of them is coming up right now.